Is GTA Online broken? Well, the only way to find out is to see how broken it actually is. And so I've investigated and prodded and poked the bear that is GTA Online, a game which I have played since its release in 2013, but I haven't actually played it in a few years. So as a veteran of GTA Online, I'm going to see how expensive things have really gotten, and also how hard it is to make a buck or two, and overall just test the limits of GTA Online. And this is all because I got a windfall from Rockstar Games themselves, and they've given me $78 million because they kind of corrupted my account that I had for the past 12 years. And so I had to reset the account, but they gave me all the money that I'd earned over the past 12 years into this account so I could buy back all my stuff. So I've got a lot of cash to spend. And as I was explaining this fact, Rockstar gave me another $1 million as I was loading into the game. So thank you, Rockstar. And I couldn't quite believe it, so I started checking on my phone to see if there was some sort of thing going on why they were giving out $1 million like that. But I couldn't find anything. Not entirely sure what's going on. And then I started running towards my car, heading into the city to showcase what I'm about to do. And then all of a sudden this. I mean, what is this guy doing? It makes me think that the conspiracy theory is correct. Rockstar is always trying to ram you off the road. And for perspective, there is a lot of different players from high levels to really low levels. And considering my level is 376, I came to the conclusion that I'm not the saddest basket case in the world, but I have definitely put in the hours, actually. $77,304,000. An absolute flex. And overall, I've spent $13 million. So that was just to get a few things. And if I look in the lobby, there's a level 718, 801. There's a lot of different leveled players in this game, from the really, really high levels to the really brand new low levels. So each person has a lot of different financial leverage in the game. Speaking of financial leverage, this is me flexing my apartment and my car in the first 5 minutes of the video. But one of the richest things that you can do in GTA Online is have a nightclub. And that's the first thing that I bought with the $78 million that Rockstar gave me. Because I get $50,000 every GTA day that goes by, just like that. I just got to keep on top of running the nightclub, doing the odd jobs here and there, but it is basically passive income. Now, this is the part where I discover the real prices of all the different businesses that you can get involved with. Starting with the bond office at $2 million. The clubhouses, they're more just a base to start your businesses at. They're not a strong income source in themselves, but it really doesn't earn much at all. Yeah, it's not really getting off to a good start. There's also the garment factory, but that's 2.3 million. And I don't quite know what you get with that. Again, everything is in the $1.5 to $2 million range. And that's largely the case with all the different businesses. They cost millions. The one thing I wish they did add was the stock market. Oh boy, the scammers would have had a field day with that. No. But moving from the businesses, which were just way too expensive, I started looking at the casino and somehow enticed myself into a $500 membership. I'll buy a membership. But then, oh my god, just look at these apartment prices. And that's before you even add any of the extras onto it. And with a multi-million-dollar price tag, it does make you wonder, what are you actually going to use it for? Penthouse for, because it is just, in essence, another apartment. And it's a bit more of an expensive apartment as well. What about the real estate? What's that looking like? Well, not much better, actually. Damn. You can buy a 50-car garage for $2.7 million. I mean, I'd rather not. So that was my apartment. So I spent 1.1 million on it. I swear back in the day, I'm convinced it was $250,000. Because I remember that was a difficult number to get to. $250,000. I mean, all these other houses and apartments are quite expensive. These houses, quite expensive. What's the cheapest thing that you can get? Okay, you can actually get a home. Oh, this is in Palito Bay, that's why, for $121,000, or a crap shack for $120,000. What is the cheapest one you can get in the city? It's the apartment for $115,000. Now, even though you can get the cheapest apartment for like $112,000, $115,000 in the city, the biggest problem, high-end ones, you can actually start heists from, whilst the medium size and the cheap ones you can't. So in that respect, paying for the high-end apartments or the houses is actually a financial necessity so that you can get access to the heists. Oh, this is the offices. Yeah, so I bought this one because it was a bit cheaper, but the original one that I had was this one. I had the Maze Bank Tower, $4 million. And then I just decided to add all the different additives onto it to just see how much the price would get to. Jesus Christ, 5.6 was how much I spent. But moving on from the businesses, how much does an airplane cost? Not that. I was this close to buying a shark card and buying this jet for bragging rights, complete bragging rights, because none of my friends had it. But then as I was looking through all these planes and helicopters, I suddenly realized, hold on, I've got $63 million. I'm going to buy this. And I'm going to just... But it's never that easy, is it? I'm going to fly around in it. So I've got nowhere to store it. I'm guessing I'm going to need to buy a hangar. To make this simple, I have to buy something to be able to buy something. So I go shopping for a hangar to store the plane that I haven't bought yet. And boy, oh boy, these prices are mad. This was the one I had before. 1.2 million. Go with this. So I spend $1.2 million on a hangar. So now I can buy the thing I want to buy. So a $665,000 price has turned into a $1.8 million one because you need somewhere to store it now. Oh, and then there's the yacht. I will not be making the same mistake here. The yacht. Oh my god. Oh, the painful memories. So I originally bought this one. Which one did I buy? I think I bought the Aquarius, the $8 million one. So I bought a shark card in order to pay the $10 million price tag. When people ask me my most regretted purchase on GTA Online, it is always the yacht. And it's because it's so expensive and has very little purpose except basically bragging rights. I've added another 50,000. And as I was sat there shopping, I added 50 grand to my bank account. It's a good passive income. But just as soon as I get that 50 grand, do I notice something extremely expensive. Jeez. The prices of these cars are insane. These are supercars. They're just so damn expensive. They're so expensive. This is insane. And since they're in the millions, it's so difficult to earn just one of those cars. Oh, bikes. So at this point, I'm just looking for any hope. At least the bikes haven't gone up by much. But then I come across something even more serious. It's just no laughing matter. See, the Southern San Andreas one was meant to be cheap alternative for cars, but even these are expensive. 1.3 million, 1.4 million. I mean, look at this car. It's a family car. How is that worth it? 1.6 million. Oh, brother, we're in end stage capitalism now. This is insane. This is more insane than the supercars. I get the supercars. I mean, look at the state of these prices, bro. These are so expensive. So cars like this, these are kind of like funky and unique. I kind of get why they'd be worth 1.2 million. That's a unique car, but why is this worth $1.7 million? And then you just got the old vehicles. There's such a clear divide between the old and the new. So these are the old vehicles and the old prices. So they do give you a cheap alternative, but then it puts it into perspective that, hold on a minute, that's $35,000. And that's $875,000. So they got the really cheap stuff at the bottom, I think. Yeah. So you can buy these. Suddenly, it goes berserk. This is probably the worst thing I've seen so far in the GTA Online economy. I mean, how do you actually justify those really bad cars being so expensive? Like, how? $195,000 van there. $25,000 van there. Oh, I'm sure it's going to get crazier. $413,000. To be fair, though, these vans are quite popular, so I can't fault that, but I can fault that. A $459,000 just regular car. It doesn't look appealing. It just looks like a regular civvy car. And then the creme de la creme. Let's have a look at the special. Oh, wow. Okay, so you can... Oh, okay. See, these are kind of cool. Expensive, but cool, I guess. And so at this point, I'm moving on to the Warstock website to just get away from these expensive crap cars when I come across my worst nightmare. Oh, what? Don't. The taxi. I paid, before my account went bust, I paid for this taxi cab $650,000 and started doing taxi rounds, and I was earning maybe $5,000 or $10,000 per taxi round. I'm doing a full job, like full-time job in the game, being a taxi driver, and at $10,000 a taxi ride, I have to keep doing that. I'm gonna have to do 65 taxi rides in order to just pay back the price of the thing, which, by the way, I didn't even need to buy. Some of these prices are insane for what it is. So I reckon Warstock has the best items in terms of value for money. They're still expensive though. Okay, so far I've learned everything's expensive. And there's nothing wrong with things being expensive as long as you're able to earn enough to be able to get that. Let's see about earning some money in this game. So I'm leaving my nightclub on a mission. So let's say you're a new player starting out in this game. What do you have to do to earn a bit of money? And then I look in my lobby and I realize there is a lot of new players. This is quite a big issue if you're starting out, but there's quite a few newer players, so clearly the game is still attracting new people to play in the game. So I head on my way to the quickie farm to try and earn some money, and basically this is just delivering medical supplies very quickly without damaging the vehicle. And after delivering my first package, so one package is 2,500, that's not bad. It's not great either. And I continue to do these delivery missions enthralled by the fun of the game, when I suddenly have a real realization of just me as a person. What am I actually doing? What am I actually doing? This is so stupid. It's 2 o'clock on a Monday and I'm delivering delivering packages in GTA Online for a few grand each. I don't know what to do. Oh God. After collecting my thoughts and then doing another 10 minutes of this just one job. Oh my God. I finally earned $32,000. Okay, 32,000. That's not too bad. So you just have to keep grinding that. But that's not all. There is also a pizza delivery one, which I won't be doing. But all these side missions pretty much earn the same. So you can earn about 32,000. That was about 10 minutes of work. By doing that, you'd earn 300,000. Did you just say 300,000? By doing that, you'd earn 300,000. Oh dear. Okay, look, it's not 300,000. It's 192,000 an hour. Ish an hour, if you just grind that out. Not bad. That's not bad. Since the side missions earn about 32,000 for every 10 minutes, I want to find out how much the missions pay. Let's play a mission. So one of the most notorious ones was Rooftop Rumble. Rooftop Rumble, you just replay that constantly over and over and over. If you remember Rooftop Rumble, you're an OG. So then I loaded into this mission with this random guy. I've never done this mission in my life before. Brother, you're fumbling it. Just shoot them in the head. Headshot. Headshot them. Okay, that was embarrassing. And we spent 10 minutes doing this whole mission, when all of a sudden, completely out of nowhere, I just die. Oh, and it gets worse because my teammate just starts doing this. So in the spirit of our new friendship, we give it one last go. And so what should have been like a 10-minute job turns into a 35-minute job. Oh my. But during our excruciatingly long drive to finish the mission, I come up with a sort of theory. See, I have not played missions in literal years and years and years, because missions were the main thing to do on GTA. Before Heist came along or anything, it was missions. That's all there was. It was just grind a mission out, get loads of money, and then buy an apartment and buy a nice car. They brought out heists, and missions kind of became redundant. They weren't useful anymore. And then after all of that, businesses came along, because businesses became a lot more worth it. I mean, I'm making 50 grand a GTA day just doing nothing, and on top of whatever I'm going to earn from this. I guess as the game, as you go and progress and you go up the echelon into the higher and higher tiers of GTA Online, you go through these phases. However, obviously, if you're getting started or you haven't got a lot in GTA Online, this is literally what you got to be doing. This is the only thing you can do. You can't do a heist because you need an apartment in order to set up the heist, and you can't start a business because you need lots and lots of money. And even when you're buying things, you need to buy things in order to be able to buy things. I couldn't even buy my little propeller plane without buying a $1.5 million hangar. So it turns a $600,000 purchase into a over $2 million purchase. And I think this is where the grind comes in. There is a lot more options, yes, but if you're grinding, you just want to do the one thing that's going to make the most amount of money for you, depending on whatever level you are. And with that, I'd unraveled the entire system. I'd figured out exactly what it all meant. Not really, I was just rambling because I got so sick of this mission. But a lot of those fundamentals do make sense when it comes to GTA Online. You do go from these different levels, starting with the missions, then going on to heists, then going on to the businesses. It is just a progression tier, but it's just not organized. So you don't know where you're meant to start and then where you ultimately end up. Is that it? Show me the money! Oh. That's not bad. So you keep doing that. So every 20 minutes, you could earn about $150,000 an hour. So the missions are ever so slightly less than what you do with the in-game side hustle sort of things, but I imagine they're pretty much on average between $150,000 to $190,000 per hour, somewhere within that region if you're just consistently grinding away. But if anything summed up this entire investigation of GT Online's economy, it'd be when I went to the toilet. Right, I need the toilet. And so I went for 10 minutes and came back, and the game was still loading out of the mission. So it hasn't moved. This is the thing, is that the game is so old now and it's got so much new stuff loaded onto the old system. The old infrastructure is old, you know, and they're adding new things onto it, and the old infrastructure struggles. I mean, it's 12 years old, man. It's 12 years old. It's older than some kids and teenagers. Some teenagers weren't even born when GTA came out. Okay, that makes me feel old. And that is a large part of the problem with the online economy, is the game is just old. Redeem. And as I was running, I suddenly realized, why did I just get $250,000? The game's throwing money at me. Yeah, the game's just thrown $250,000 at me. No idea why. I'm presuming it was part of that mission, and that's when I realized another key piece of the puzzle is that Rockstar is also throwing money at players, and they're either doing that because things are so expensive, so they're trying to help players out, or they're doing that which is then causing the prices of everything to go up because everyone's got more money. Either ways, it's certainly not helping. But by this point, I'd earned enough money to go see what I'd actually paid for, my amazing new plane and its amazing new hangar. Let's see what $2 million gets me. And then I realized something awful. Oh no, not this cutscene again. Oh my god. And so I sat through this cutscene for what was like 20 minutes? God. And finally got to try out my $2 million plane. I'm counting the hangar as part of the price. This is pretty cool. Pretty nifty. But then I realized in my entire investigation, I hadn't even checked on the most important thing. Clothing. So I was determined to land next to a clothing shop in my new $2 million flying glider. Okay. Nailed it. Pure cinema. So a lot of these are the older outfits they first brought out, which were actually really reasonably priced. And then 50,000, 93,000, which were not so reasonably priced. $107,000. Overall, I noticed a lot of the clothing was between $10,000 to $15,000, and on the high end, it would go into the tens of thousands of dollars. But overall, they're fairly inexpensive. Well, I guess comparing it to things like massive jets and cars and whatever San Andreas Motors is doing. One jacket is the equivalent of doing that whole entire medical run. But then again, if you get to my point where you've got a nightclub making 50 every GTA day, then it kind of adds up quite easily. And you're getting all these insane bonuses. Look at how much money I've gotten. I've just gotten all of that money from nowhere. It just doesn't make sense. And by nowhere, I mean nowhere. I literally don't even know where the money came from. I know I did a mission, but then I got like 250,000 from somewhere, and I got 500,000 in cash. I just don't know where the money has came from. I haven't done anything. And so I guess that's the point that you get to at GTA, where the money is flowing in, that you can just afford to spend a lot of money on these different clothes that are like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Let's head to the gun shop. So my next stop was to investigate the gun shop. If I could make it there in one piece. What am I doing? In terms of guns, they added a bunch of guns later on. One of the mistakes I made was I bought this gun. This $370,000 gun, which is decent, but it's very similar to the bullpup rifle. Okay, you got some expensive guns and some not so expensive guns, but $450,000 for a gun? No, thank you. Hypothetically, if you didn't have this money, then maybe I'd consider buying one notorious shark card. Now let's have a look. There's a few options here. The cheapest one that you can get is the $250,000 shark card, all the way up. Oh, the bestseller, the 1.5 million for £15. There's the midway option, $37.99, and then the big one, the Megalodon shark card, for £63. Now that is the one that I bought for the yacht. That is the one that I got for the yacht. And yeah, no, I can't believe I did that. And then as I investigate GTA Plus, I then click A in looking to see more of the benefits that you can get. And I realized A is actually the purchase button. And I quickly try and stop the transaction from going through. No, back out. And in that moment, I couldn't tell if it said purchase complete. I hope that didn't just say purchase confirmed. So I had to check my bank statements to make sure I hadn't just paid for GTA Plus. And luckily, I don't think I did. Okay, they make it very easy for you to buy it. So next, I thought it'd be best to investigate the warehouses, since they're almost the middle tier when it comes to businesses. The warehouses is almost the bridging point between having no money and getting to having nightclubs. But before I could get to that, I had to get through another cutscene. Oh my god, not another cutscene. Okay. So, with owning an office, I can do cargo missions and I can buy warehouses. But for perspective, this is how much each warehouse costs. I did have this warehouse. Again, this is me just flexing, you know, showing off my warehouses or warehouses I did have. And obviously the large warehouse you fit more crates in for $902,000. And this is where I decided to reclaim my former glory and I bought a warehouse. And I pretty much had immediate regret. I don't know why I bought it. And so I went to go check out my completely unneeded business. So obviously the bigger warehouses, you can store much more in it. And then afterwards you can just then sell the items. I think by this point I was just trying to convince myself that this was a worthwhile purchase, but it was not. Again, there's tiers to the GTA Online economy. Once you've gotten to the point where you've got nightclubs and salvage yards and these passive income businesses, the warehouses aren't really necessary. They're more work for less money. But there is always one other way of making money. Yeah, you know what time it is. It's casino time. Ironically, the casino can be a way of earning money in GTA Online. The best way of making money in this game. But you could also lose it all. So my foolproof plan was taking my $63 million and put it on black. But before I could do that, it's cutscene time. Oh, it's another cutscene. Oh my god. Yep, I had to do this whole cutscene as well. Please no more. Rockstar, why did you corrupt my account? Oh. Honestly, this was painful. This actually lasted so long as well. Oh my god. And yes, I was crashing out a little bit. I'm not new. I've been here before. Oh, I've played these games before. Oh my god. Let me just bet. And then after quite a while, I managed to start gambling. Hello. And even though I had a $25,000 cap, I was still determined to try and see if I could make some money from this. And so I headed over to the blackjack table and did exactly as I planned. Hello. Hit me. So I placed my bet and I waited in anticipation. I've literally never done this before, so I didn't know what to expect. I just seen it in the movies. And then all of a sudden, yep, it worked. I won 10,000 chips, which is $10,000, just like that. Gamble aware. We're going to go black again. This is the only way that you can get rich in GTA. I just made 10 grand right there. And so what could possibly go wrong right now? Surely I'll get another 10. It didn't even land on red. It didn't even land on black. It landed on green. Like, what are the odds? But this is an example of life's not fair. Oh, I don't like this game. But the one thing I do know is the horse betting. Oh, let's give this a go, shall we? Something tells me I need to go with yellow sunshine. Yellow sunshine. And we're going to do... Might as well do it. Potential payout 60 grand. Which one is he? Oh, he's second. Oh, he's catching up. Overtake! I'll admit, the horse racing got me. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Fourth. He placed fourth. And so like any good gambler, I gave it one last go. Hot and bothered. That's how I feel right now. Hot and bothered. And again, I'm going to do another 10 grand bet. Come on, hot and bothered. Come on, hot and bothered. Hot and bothered. My chat must have done some magic because hot and bothered won. So I made about 10 grand in about 20 minutes. And then, you know what? Just for luck, I just tried the spinning wheel to see if I'd get anything. And I casually won another 25,000. It just wants me to keep gambling. And so I broke the gambler's rulebook and I decided to do something smart. You know what? I'm actually going to cash out the chips. Cash me out. I've technically made 30 grand there because I started out at 25. I'll take it. I'll take it. And so across the board, I tried loads of different ways of making money in GTA Online, and I've also seen how expensive everything is in GTA Online. And so the question is GTA Online's economy broken? And from my perspective, it's not broken, it's more just old. The whole game is just old. It was never designed to be 12 years old. It wasn't designed to go for that long. And the fact that it has is great, but its side effects were that GTA Online brings out new things, new cars, new weapons, new businesses that have to be more expensive so that the players chase it. Almost like an in-game inflation. And personally, I don't think Rockstar's to blame either, because they're a business after all. They're trying to make some money, and if you're buying a shark card, then you're giving them a bit of money to then help them develop the next game, and so forth. And that concludes this investigation for now. But if you want to see more content from me, then please consider hitting that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, because it took a while for me to put together. And hopefully see you in the next video.